Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I could not be more excited for today's Lumio Live because the feature we're going to be talking about, I have to say, has been one of the most asked Facebook group, which if you're not part of it yet, if you go to Facebook and you search Lumio Educators, I just request to join, I'll let you in. And that is a great place to be to always ask questions, share ideas on your phone. And it's so easy to always be for feature. And our product team, they delivered. I'm super pumped. And today we're talking about student handout export. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to pop out of my little title slide here, and I'm going to pop into my class sessions and go into my review mode of this lesson that I'm. So once I'm in that review mode, I can click on student progress, and I dedicated this page to be an individual handout, which means every student gets their own space to work. So you can see all my students here. I've got them, the top row, they're done. I've got a couple that are idle here. If they were working, it would have those three dots, kind of like when you're getting a text message and someone is typing. But if I click in, let's just take a look at Isabel here. And we can see that Isabel is hard at work. Now, I love doing individual handouts right inside of Lumio because it really gives you a safe space for student thinking. It gives every student, showing you here, was quite simple in the sense that all they had to do was drag and drop these kind of transparent squares to the right boxes. But maybe I asked a question, I wanted them to do a little bit of journaling. This is a really great space to give multiple means of expression. So if I just gave them a worksheet in person, they can really just write. But when I think about all of my different types of students, maybe for some, writing would have caused difference or their strong suit. Instead, if I have it digitally like this in Lumio, not only for me as a teacher do I have all shouted outs, our games, our worksheets, all the work in one file for me to just go back to review, but also my students can then click on the microphone if maybe recording themselves would have been easier. If they, are more creative and they'd like to draw a response, they could have. Now, for this worksheet here, again, all they needed to do was drag and drop those squares there. I also really like doing it this way because it doesn't give your students pressure with peers really watching their responses. It's great for those hesitant learners who just need a little bit more time processing. And what I also really like is if this file had multiple pages in it, I can always pop into my two little folks up here. And if I was going this live, I would be able to put it into, let me just show you. I'm going to start it live. I can also put it into student pacing mode. So again, if this file had multiple pages, I'd be able to click in. If I was a student, maybe page 1 had a lesson on it, a review that I could kind of reference if I wasn't understanding or needed to revisit. And then perhaps page 2 would be where I would need to show my work. Now, as a teacher, there's two ways for me to give feedback. Right from this screen, you'll notice that I'm able to toggle between all of my students. I'm able to close that page down. Maybe I need to open up Sally's work. And if I need to, I can quickly grab the text and say, great work. Or if I wanted to acknowledge that maybe something needed to be fixed, maybe I can come in and grab a sticker and give a little clue that maybe they've missed something. So here's where the really exciting part comes in. Is now if you're in beta and if you stay logged in and you've got beta mode turned on so you can see all those exciting new features, but what you'll see now is this brand new button that says Export PDF. There have been so many times that folks have come into our Facebook group and says, hey, I have all this really great student work in these independent individual handouts. How do I save them as a PDF? Whether you need those for progress monitoring, student peer review, if you want to go deeper into your feedback to really be able to write on it, parent-teacher conferences, student portfolio, to then export those handouts. So now you can. If you click on Export Handout, what you can do is it'll come in first with all of your students selected, and it'll get you a really nice PDF with all of the student work. Or perhaps you're getting ready for a conference or maybe an IEP meeting and you just need one single student. Let's just say Johnny, and then you can go ahead and you can click to download that PDF. Now, in advance, I already did that. So I'm going to open this up and you'll see here, this is what it looks like. So I can make it larger for myself. And now I can print it. I can store it in a folder if I'm, again, getting ready for some progress monitoring or parent-teacher conference. All this work here is saved in one place for me, and it's so easy to access it this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over to Lumio, and I'm going to leave this lesson because I really want to make sure that everyone is logged in and accessing their beta mode. So anywhere you're at in Lumio, so I'm just kind of in my class sessions. You could also just be in your library. What you'll want to do is in your top right corner, click on your little icon. Yours might just be your initials. Mine's my picture. And then there is an option that says about Lumio Beta. Now, if you're not part of Lumio Beta, that button is going to say join Lumio Beta. And once you click on it, you'll want to toggle that on. Now, our product team will always put new features into beta first just to make sure they're good, just test it out, see if there's any feedback. And there's quite a few features that you've got in beta right now. You can always click there just to see what those are. So right now, what you can do is see that we've got some, let's go to beta features. You've got adding widgets in delivery mode and then exporting handouts. We've had widgets in there for quite some time. We just added even more widgets into there, which has been super fun. You can make learning more interactive, more engaging, and it has been a really cool feature that we'd love for you to try out. So again, I really like being able to export those handouts like so. Again, just to show you class sessions, I went into review mode. And then this was already my handout that I had been open up to. And right from your dashboard, you can click on Export Handout. I think this is such a great way to keep everything stored in one place. No wasting time printing worksheets, handing them out. No students saying, I left it at home, or there's a pile here, there's a pile there. It's super efficient and makes it easier for both you and for your students. I also want to make one more last call out before we call it for today. If you joined our Lumio Live 2 weeks ago, Jonathan and I gave you a little sneak peek of a new feature that wasn't quite out yet, but it came out yesterday, and that is Instant Start. So that is right on your home screen. It is right there, and that is a really neat feature. If you click on it, you'll get some ready-to-go activities that'll jump right into a live lesson, and there'll be whole class whiteboard ready for you and your students to interact with. They are in testing. So the most important thing for you to remember, the graphic organizers or activities that you might see, your friend might see different ones, because we're trying out some different graphic organizers, and then we'll see what is the most frequently visited ones. But with that, thank you so much. And a quick little announcement, you guys are going to get some really cool folks leading your Lumio Lives over the next few weeks in March. I'm going to be out of office for my wedding and my honeymoon. Super exciting. We're 12 days away. I'm spiraling most of the time, which is okay. Such is life. But you're going to get some really special treats. You've got Lindsay coming up the beginning of March, and we'll be talking about the flip out feature in Lumio. And then at the end of March, you've got Miss Shay, who is going to be talking about the different UDL features that you can use that are in Lumio that are aligned to research that we had done with the University of Melbourne. With that, I will see you guys in April, but there's still Lumio Live in March. See y'all next time.